Cesar Chavez. On March 31st, 1927, a Mexican-American boy was born to be one of the most powerful leaders of all time. His parents owned a farm and home in Yuma, Arizona during the Great Depression. In 1938, their farm was destroyed by a drought and had to move to California. They needed to join the 30,000 migrant farm workers who traveled all over the state looking for jobs that include picking fruits and are in season. They were all looking for jobs for 10 years and had to rent low-quality and uncomfortable shacks. If one of the workers complained about fair pay, they would get fired or beaten to critical condition. The workers' hours were terrible. They had to work 3 a.m. in the morning until sunset. Even though they had worked long hours, they still had not earned enough money to afford any food. But the hurtful suffering Cesar had been through actually made him stronger. Cesar was an American hero who fought for many rights, farm workers, civil and gay rights. As a child, he was one of the 6 children in the family. He was probably the only child who made a difference for farm workers. Cesar's grandparents, Cesar and Dorotea Chavez, came to the U.S. and escaped the poverty in Mexico. They were really fortunate by moving quickly to the U.S. Cesar's parents were Librado Chavez and Juana Estrada Chavez. He was influenced by his mother and grandmother and was taught about respect. However, he was also given a deep sense of spiritual faith. Cesar was also taught by his father about being a man of action and how to stand up for others. He has learned so much from his parents in his childhood. At school, he was picked on because of his accent and speaking Spanish. The teachers didn't care about the other kids bullying Cesar. The teachers would punish Cesar by hitting his knuckles with a ruler if he spoke Spanish. Many teachers back then weren't respectful and hated other people's skin color, their race, and their religion. He was forced to wear a sign that says, "I am a clown, I speak Spanish." He went to a diner at the age of 10 and an employee told Cesar that they don't serve Mexicans. That was really hard for Cesar. As a young man, Cesar had to take on many responsibilities of an adult. He later then quit 8th grade in order to work in the field because his father suffered an injury in a car accident, so he needed someone to take his place. In 1944, he joined the U.S. Navy and served overseas for 2 years. He saw many people suffer from the pain of prejudice. He returned to Delano to help his family in the fields. At the age of 21, he married Helen Pavel and had 8 children. He felt and knew what migrant workers were going through and knew he had to do something. In 1948, he met people including Father McDonald and read books that helped him throughout his life. Reading books and meeting people gave him an idea about making a difference. Father McDonald explained to Cesar about solving the poverty and wanted him to learn more about labor history. He read about leaders that made a difference throughout history. He read books like St. Francis of Assisi and Louis Fisher's The Life of Gandhi. The knowledge reminded him about his parents' lessons, and that was when his real education began. He then got the courage to do something about solving injustice and prejudices. In 1952, he met Fred Ross, who was a member of CSO, and explained to him about the poverty and the people living in it. Cesar started his job at CSO, but later then quit in order to create his own union. Cesar had to do what's best for him. In 1962, he created the National Farm Workers Association, which later became known as the United Farm Workers, and asked people to unite and win rights. This union really changed something. The union had adopted a flag that had a black eagle that resembles dark situations. Many workers have been through dark and horrible situations. Cesar needed to fight back for others, then again gave courage to them to fight back. The girls threatened picketers with firearms and dogs and pesticides. And in 1965, he joined the Filipino farm organization called the Agriculture Workers Organizing Committee. And together they had targeted and strike grocery companies. The two unions combined their name into the United Farm Workers Organizing Committee and never gave up until they won. Before Cesar's death in his sleep on April 23rd, 1993, he was assisting a lawyer fight for a lawsuit against the United Farm Workers because he possibly started riots that killed people during the strike. He held because he also wanted to stop it. His funeral took place 6 days after his peaceful death. About 30,000 people were at his funeral. People marched one last time with Cesar and followed his casket for 3 miles. It was their last opportunity to march with the American hero. California has declared Cesar's birthday as a holiday. Cesar's people had inspired his hard work and bravery. In 1994, Clinton awarded Cesar the Presidential Medal of Freedom Award. Since Cesar was already dead at the time, his wife Helen accepted the award at the White House. 4 years before the Presidential Medal of Freedom was given, his first award was the Águila Azteca by the Mexican government. He was awarded this award because of his hard work that inspired people, including the government. In 1992, his second award was the honorary doctorate by University of Arizona. And schools and streets were named after his name. His strikes were not violent like others. He was a peaceful and humble man. Cesar has fought for many people and will always be known as a hero. He has also fought for civil workers and gay rights. Other leaders have never stopped fighting for what's right. He's inspired by and supported many leaders who have also made the difference. Sometimes many people's voices make one, and a march will always lead to victory. And unified efforts make changes happen.